All right, good evening, everyone. Our weekly or monthly meeting, the town of Kippens, June the 13th, 2024. First item on our agenda is to call the meeting to order, which I'll do now. Second item, looking for a motion to adopt May the 9th, 2024 council meeting minutes. Moved by Councillor Eric House, second by Councillor Barrett. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Motion to adopt May the 27th, 2024 special council meeting minutes. Have a motion to adopt those. Moved by Councillor Brian House. Second by Councillor Vince McGraw. Any discussion on those? All in favor? Aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Motion to adopt June the 6th, 2024 special council meeting minutes. And that was in reference to our RFP. The motion was moved by Councillor Earl Barrett. Second by Councillor Derek House. Any discussion on that one? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Motion now to adopt June the 13th, 2024 council meeting agenda. Moved by Councillor Troy Duffy. Second by Deputy Mayor Eric Nipper. Any discussion on that? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion. I will now turn it over to our finance committee for the invoices.
I would make a motion to approve the listing of May invoices in the amount of $53,016.42. And you all have a copy in front of you.
The motion brought forward by Councillor Barrett, second by Councillor Derek House. Any discussion on those invoices? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Under new business, we have development regulations amendment. You each have a copy in your council package on the amendment. Town of Kippens Development Regulations Amendment number 24-01. Administrative amendment to accessory buildings, home businesses, and subdivision regulations. I'm going to ask our town manager to basically give us a breakdown of what it all actually means for the community.
Yeah, our current development regulations do not state one way or the other as in regards to intermodal containers, also known as C-cans. There's absolutely nothing in the development regulations for or against. So there's going to be an amendment in here for one way or the other. So it'll be up for public consultation after this anyway. Amendment number 2 is we have nothing underneath our home business or home industries. We've had some interest for some small scale lawn care business. Okay. There is nothing in our development regulations that pertains to one or the other. So there will be an amendment put in that would caveat that underneath a home business.
Okay.
And the last one is an amendment to our development regulations regarding subdivisions or max lengths. It's just determined that there's nothing in development regulations right now pertaining to it. As far as dead end cul-de-sacs, the amendment is designed that it gives the town the authority to make an appropriate cul-de-sac at the end of a existing dead end street. Okay. Even if that street is, because there are streets in town that are beyond the maximum lengths, it is solely for the town to have the authority to be able to make the appropriate cul-de-sac out of it at the end. Not to extend it anymore or any of that stuff, just to make the appropriate turnaround at the end.
Okay, so all this is will be published, right?
It will, yeah.
Okay. So now we just need a
third page.
Yeah, and if I can get the Mayor Eric Nipper to bring forward the resolution.
Resolution for modifications to our development regulations. Be it resolved that the Kippens Town Council directs staff to proceed with the legislative newspaper notice for proposed development regulations amendment number 24-01 as required under subsection 35(5) of the Urban Rural Planning Act 2000.
Okay, so you heard brought forward by Deputy Mayor Eric Nipper, seconder. Seconded by Councillor Vince McGraw. Discussion?
If these are gonna be typed up and form part of our development regulations, there is a typo, maybe it should be corrected. And that's on the first number 1D1, second paragraph. It's got modifications have been made to said container may be considered. So strike one of the maybes.
Okay. We did. Good catch. Thank you. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Additional business, community gardens, I believe that was brought forward by Councillor House.
Yeah, I just want to mention that our community garden is still has some plots available. Basically, people are just asked if they want to use them, just to put stick with their name on it. One that's not being used, then they can go ahead and use it for whatever you like to plant, vegetables, flowers, whatever. So
Is there a fee for the plot?
no
fee?
no fee.
Okay.
So the only thing is we need to hook up the water supply. So I've mentioned it to the town manager about getting the water supply back. So hopefully that'll be done in the next week or so.
Okay,
And just to add on to what Councillor House did say, it hasn't arrived yet, but the town, I did apply through the Home Gardens Miracle Grow funding program as well, and we were selected again to receive an amount of fertilizers, topsoil, all that good stuff. So it hasn't arrived yet, but it is on the way, so there will be some materials to avail of free of charge.
Good.
There was some
Yeah, there was.
fertilizer in that small shed, because I think when Councillor McIsaac resigned and left the area, she gave me whatever they had in the way of fertilizer and plant food.
Okay.
And I think it was all put in there. And I think there's even some garden signs, so that's been in there at least 2 seasons, I
Okay.
think.
There's more coming.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll be good.
so if anyone wants a plot, they just go over and put their name.
Put your name on it. Yeah,
Okay,
that's all
perfect.
we do, yeah.
Again, under additional business, funding for summer students, you all have been given a brief that was sent out from the Kippens Recreation, the question of wage subsidy. I had a chance to read it. So we're looking for some extra money in order to bring on 2 extra students, 2 extra positions. For the summer rec program. The amount of $4,368, is that correct?
Yes.
So we'll turn to our finance committee to see.
We only received this yesterday, so from what I gather, there's a change in the way the funding
Yes.
is generated. So I think Justin's a little,
Historically, I guess it was through a third-party not-for-profit organization, used to do all the summer rec programs. As they were for a not-for-profit organization, they would receive 100% funding from federal, provincial governments.
Okay.
Because due to workplace NLs and workers' comps and all that stuff, it has been too encompassing on a volunteer organization. They have asked the town to apply on their behalf. Because we're a municipality and not a not-for-profit, the government positions came back and said, as we're a municipality, they only offer 50% coverage for the workers. So the difference is to make up the 50%. Because essentially we need to take enough money from the allotted budget to pay those half wages for 2 workers, which in turn takes 1 full position off the table with current budget.
if we didn't do that, we would lose one.
You're gonna lose one full worker for the rec
Yeah.
committee
And this
for summer students.
is, like I say, comes to change, but we, it's only what, 4368 we would be required to contribute. I would make a motion that we would approve this amount to be included for the summer rec workers this year.
Okay, you heard the motion brought forward by Councillor Derek House. Do we have a seconder? Seconded by Deputy Mayor Eric Nippert. Any further discussion on that item?
Who exactly is in charge of these extra workers? I mean, are they under the rec? Are they under? the
Recreation
town?
Committee. The
Okay.
Recreation Committee is supervising them. They are employed by the town now as summer workers.
And that's to take care of what lawns?
No, that's to take care of the recreation program that they have
Okay.
approximately between 100 and 150 children, I believe, every summer as part of the recreation program.
Okay.
We used to call it Parks and Recs when we were.
Yeah.
But it's for the recreation program.
So they're not here to do maintenance or anything like that. They're basically,
Historically, I think they, if opportunity presents itself, they may be available to do some, say, garbage cleanup or stuff like that, depending on how busy the
Trail
rec,
maintenance.
depending on how busy the whole recreation
okay.
summer camp job is.
How many workers are with the committee now? Maybe they have summer students.
Summer students, I believe it's, if approved, I think they're gonna be looking at 9 or 10.
But this is just the federal ones, isn't it? This is-
No, these two were just for federal. Yes, there was 2. We applied, the town applied for 9. We got approved for 2 at 50%. And we did manage to avail of one from the Halipo for 100%.
And then there's provincial ones too, is it?
There was none from the provincial this year,
Where are the other ones coming from then as well?
directly from the budget line for the town. From the town donates a budget line item. For
So the town's paying for 7 students?
Mhm.
or something?
No,
Six for sure. The town is paying for 6, half of the wage for 2 from the federal funding, and 1 is from Halipo.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. All right, we're going to start with our committee reports, and I will start to my left here with our Deputy Mayor Eric Nippert.
Nothing committee wants to report. I will say that, I'm now actively engaged with the Western Regional Service Board. First meeting is on June 27th, so I'll be attending that meeting
Okay,
on our behalf and all the rest of the communities of Bay St. George.
good. All right. Councillor House?
Nothing new to report. I sound like a broken record on the communication issue. I get people asking me all the time about cell phone service here. Because I mean, in good faith, we did put forward to the provincial government that we were interested in participating. And we're a willing participant at 10% of the cost of improving the service. But nothing appears to be happening in that. Do we have any recourse? Can we engage the political powers that be to see why this is not moving anywhere?
Yeah, we can avail of the push through the MHA's office,
Because
possibly the
the
MP's
word you're
office.
getting is not.
I haven't received any part since the last meeting we have. I've reached out, no correspondence back.
And if I remember correctly, the original deadline was in January or
The original
February.
was in January, they pushed it to February. And at that point in time, they just came out then and said, we have received RFPs from service providers. We are currently in the process of discussions and engaging in the discussions moving forward with providers. Another update will be given at a later date.
All right, well, as Councillor House said, maybe we can have a letter done up and I'll sign it. And we'll send it off to our MHA
Maybe to
and,
the premier's office.
and to Goody Hutchings, our MP. And to the Premier's office and see if we get any response back. But just to let them know that we are being actively
Yes.
engaged in trying to get this service, better for our community and for other communities also. You know, if you put up a better tower service, it's not only going to benefit us, it's going to benefit others. Right?
And if this area experiences the boom that is being predicted, I would think that would be a necessity.
Definitely.
Because it'll certainly slow things down if people can't get cell phone call within the boundaries of our town.
And a lot of cell phone drop calls, personally for me.
And it is this is something that should be taken care of, because I mean, this is emergency. 911 calls drop.
Yeah.
You try to call an ambulance, you can't get through.
Yeah.
So I mean, do we need a couple of deaths before someone does anything?
Well, we'll do as we just stated, and
Yeah.
hopefully we'll see what happens, but we'll definitely, keep the iron in the fire and, bringing it up and letting our residents know that we are constantly, trying to do the best that we can.
I don't know if other councilors are getting representation from residents, but I get my share.
Yeah, I get it.
That's the other thing.
Okay, thank you, Brian, or Councillor House, sorry, my apologies, Councillor McGraw.
Nothing to talk about that this time. The only thing I'd like to mention is if people have complaints, I'm open to hearing them, but in the long run, it comes down to the town manager.
Yeah.
He's the one that,
They should contact
Yeah,
the
contact
town
them.
manager first.
yeah,
So if there's anyone out there that has anything that they want to bring forward, in the community, Justin is available. From 8:30,
8 to 4, Monday to Friday.
8 to 4, Monday to Friday. The number's posted on our website. They know where our office is located. Questions, comments, or concerns, contact Justin, and Justin will bring it to us if necessary. If not, he will deal with it as he sees fit as our town manager.
in the case of emergency, what would they call? 911?
It just as also a member of the fire department. If it is a medical or life-threatening emergency, please call 911. If it is a non-medical, non-life-threatening emergency that requires assistance from the town, i.e. A water line break, to somebody's infrastructure, that kind of thing, the emergency cell phone number is on the town's website
Okay.
for after hours for emergency purposes only.
Well, like, some situation where, I'm not gonna say exactly, but if kids hanging around stuff, doing damage, something like that, is that considered a,
Vandalism, you call the RCMP.
Best thing to do, get them down in the community and view it. Councillor or Deputy Mayor.
Just one point, maybe we should point out to people that the Facebook page is not a monitored,
So
media. Nobody in the town is monitoring it, actively monitoring it. And a lot of people put messages through, Facebook Messenger, hoping you to reply. And it may or may not be seen depending on who's looking at the page. I know I don't monitor Facebook very often. So just second to what they were saying, it's, if you have an issue, contact the town manager. If you put it in the Facebook Messenger page, it may or may not be seen.
And again, on our town website, the town manager's phone number is there, his email address is there. Same with all of ours, but he is our town manager and that's his job. So if you have questions or comments or concerns, as I said, bring it forward to our town manager. And if necessary, he'll bring it to us as a council. Councillor Barrett,
nothing to report, sir.
thank you. Councillor House.
A couple of things that everybody may have seen, these little envelopes floating around this
Well,
week
municipal
from
assessment.
municipal tax assessment.
Yep.
They've done the review and they've come up with our assessment values for next year. Now, anybody is not satisfied with what they've come up and they'd like to have file an appeal, the process to do it is here. But it does seem like it's a little bit down this time compared to last year. I don't know what reasons.
You mean the assessment for?
Yeah,
For you.
for you, but that's what I'm saying. If somebody else is up and they wish to appeal, the process is pretty well spelled out there. And there's a deadline. You have to do it by a certain time, June. I just forget the dates now, Appeal deadline, August the 2nd. So if you are not happy with your assessment, August the 2nd, you have to appeal.
So you think it's too long?
And go ahead.
I would say, just to reiterate on what Councillor House said, just as everybody's aware, the town, the municipality themselves has nothing to do with the
That's right.
assessments.
These are,
We do not do the appeals. It is purely a third party governing body.
Yeah.
So any and all information is in that municipal assessment.
Yeah.
The town has no ability and no say. So.
Perfect.
one other thing I'm just gonna mention, we did, in fact, we put a little money in our budget this year for looking at remuneration for our council. There is an election coming next year. We hope to have something in place. The town of Kippens is one of the very few towns that doesn't provide some kind of remuneration for their council and mayor. So we will be taking a look at that. And if anybody's got any comments or whatever they would like to pass on about that, pass them on to our manager, and he'll pass them on to us.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Councillor Duffy?
One thing I would like to say, we had the Stephen Awards last month.
Yes. Yep.
It's my first time being involved with it, and it's really, really nice event. Recognizes volunteers in the whole Basin George area, really. And I'd like to thank the town for supporting it as usual, like for yes, consistently for over years, and to personally thank the mayor for coming and representing the town. It's kind of nice to be part of it, so it's good to recognize it.
Thank you. I also like to thank Councillor Duffy because he is a part of the Stephen Awards Committee. He got up and did some presentation during the awards. It was a very nice night, I must say, seen a lot of people that I haven't seen for a while. We had a resident from Kippens that was nominated, and a lot of good nominations and a lot of good people that got awards that certainly put the time and effort in to deserve them. So congratulations to all of them. And I'd like to say thank you to the committee itself for putting out such a good awards night. It was really enjoyable last night. So right now, we're gonna ask our town manager for his report.
Yeah, just a couple items this time around. We were late getting it this year, so it's gonna be as late going out river, but we have received the topsoil and stuff from our contractor. I know the public works employees went around to most properties. There may have been some that got missed initially for the initial cleanup and all that. They will be out in the near future. I mean, obviously spring has showed up very soon. Grass is growing. They're growing earlier than most years, but we have recently received topsoils and stuff to go address the problem areas from the winter snow clearing.
Okay.
So it will happen in the near future.
Okay.
And the only other item for me, is been notified to me a couple of times, especially as first responder and emergency preparedness. There are multiple residences in Stephenville, or sorry, in Kippens, and I'm sure amongst other municipalities as well, that your civic addresses, your house numbers are not on the houses. There has been instances for first responders and such not being able to find a residence or not being able to find it as quickly as would like to. We reiterate to the residents, please ensure you have an appropriate sized identification number on your residence.
Okay.
So that in the event of emergency, especially whether it's fire, police, ambulance,
Yep.
those entities can find the residents appropriately and speedily as possible.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Okay, that's it for our agenda. So I look for a motion to adjourn. So. Would like Councillor Kemper, Deputy. Next meeting, sorry. July the 11th. They heard the motion by Deputy Mayor Knipper, second by Councillor
Second.
House. All in favor?
Oh,
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, gentlemen.